They've hurt
seafood on a plane. This is a
it's
general
not right.
rule of thumb.
Right. Yeah.
You should be arrested. That should be
arrested
illegal.
in cuffs. Like, you know what they did to that guy on the United flight where they dragged him off? That's what should happen to you if you bring fish on a plane, we drag you off. If you put your backpack above in the little cubby when other people have to put their suitcases. Arrest in cuffs. I do not like this.
Arrested.
Yeah. The backpack goes underneath the seat, good sir.
Yeah, actually, that is really stupid. And then they get up like 7 times throughout the flight to get something out of said backpack. It's like, God, you're the worst.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's like, dude, just put the backpack on the floor. Like, everyone has to put their suitcases up.
There's a hole down there. That's what it's for, brother.
Yeah. Brother, look at the hole.
Oh my God, brother, there's a hole for that. What's up, you guys? We're actually throwing you a One Question Friday on Wednesday because we are interviewing a venture capitalist out of Chicago. Her name is Nina Essendo. She's so cool. You're going to love the episode. And that will be coming out on Friday. So we're going to do a little switcheroo. Enjoy the episode. Hey, everybody. One Question Friday alert. Number 2. I hope you liked last week's. It's fun for us to just like ramble about a topic, isn't it?
Totally.
I like doing it.
Fridays are nice.
Fridays are nice. Okay. You ready? Let's get into some questions. Throw me 2 options.
Okay. We have one question about someone who wants to go to Disney World and they have an unlimited budget and they can go to any park in the world and they want a recommendation, but I don't think you're a big Disney girl. The second question is from someone in tech who recently got laid off, and it's kind of happy, kind of sad. You want that one?
You know, I love a sad story.
All right. So this one's sad.
Yeah. Okay.
This person writes in, I recently got laid off from a job in tech. I was making $450,000 a year, and I'm looking for a side hustle somewhat in or adjacent to the travel industry. Any tips for a fun gig that brings in about $1,000 a month?
$1,000 a month. Okay.
It seems like this person just has some time on their hands and they probably have a ton of money saved up. So they're wanting to do something in travel, but they're not necessarily needing to make a boatload of money because it sounds like their basic financial needs are met for some period of time. That's me reading between the lines.
$450,000 a month. I mean, a month. Can you imagine? A year. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's also amazing that that's what people make. This person was probably like an engineer or product manager, maybe mid-level. And that's what we paid our whole engineering department in Florida in 2019. Think about that. One person is like 4 people in Florida. Insane.
Well, for starters, we feel for you because I know a lot of people have gotten laid off in tech recently, and that sucks and that's sad. But on the other side,
we're here to help, though.
We're here to freaking help. So something you can do on the side that allows you to travel. The first thing that comes to mind is something that I've actually had a lot of girlfriends do. So I know that it works. I know that it's real. Going abroad and teaching English, like picking a country that you've always wanted to go to, and then just like applying for jobs to teach English. They're all over the place. Like if you look online anywhere globally, they allow this. You don't really have to do that much to learn.
It turns out if you're listening and you made $450,000 a year, English, it's your thing.
You might know a little English.
You might be okay.
I would highly recommend that. I know the girlfriends of mine that have done it, like, wouldn't have changed anything. And they got to explore and they didn't have to work. Not that it's my MO to say, and you don't have to work super hard, but you kind of don't. You're like just getting to know people.
Oh, great. The teachers are coming at us. We're going to get canceled by the teachers union. Great.
Shh. The girl I'm talking about, that's my friend that did that, is a teacher. But Yeah. Do you have anything? I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to keep brainstorming.
Yeah. On a super side note, I just looked this up, and you can earn anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000 a month teaching English abroad. So not a crazy high salary, but it's not bad, especially the cost of living is often lower in these countries. So that is pretty good.
Also, I made it sound like it was not super hard. I've never done it. Do you think that teaching English to another, like a Russian, do you think that would be really impossible, even though we can do it with our eyes closed?
It's probably a little bit harder than you think. I taught history to 7th graders and 8th graders, and they all spoke English, and that was kind of hard. So I would assume when there is a language barrier, it probably is hard. And then just being an American overseas, there's probably that cultural barrier to overcome too. So I would assume that it's probably pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, if anyone does it, report back.
Yeah,
maybe I should do it. I'll do it for the pod.
You're employed and you're not going anywhere. So, all right.
Okay.
I have a good travel side hustle. So I've been thinking about this often. And I think that if you have some time on your hands and you can play the long game, you can start to create content about buying cheap flights to Europe. And I wouldn't say cheap flights. I would say you would create content on buying discounted business class flights to Europe. Yeah. So anyone can do this. You would make an Instagram handle. You would post a ton of travel content, and then just be known as hey, this person, Jane, posts about travel. She's always posting about travel deals and cheap flights, and she does screen recordings of Google Flights, and just build up a little bit of a following, because there's a lot of people who are always looking for a deal. Now, what I would do is, after I have a little bit of a following, I would head over to a website like Skylux, or type in Google airfare consolidators. What an airfare consolidator is they get distressed inventory that is first class from the airlines, and they'll sell it back to the public in a private channel. So you will not find these fares on Google or Expedia, because they can't be sold in a public channel. But you can email these consolidators and say, hey, I'm looking for a business class flight Orlando to Frankfurt. And you may see rates online for $7,000, $8,000, but these consolidators can often get you fares for maybe $4,000 or $5,000. So what I would do is I would get enough of a following, get to maybe 2,000-3,000 people who are following me. And then I would reach out to those consolidators, and I would just email them and try to get some fares that are about $3,000 off. And then I would sell those fares back on my Instagram and say, hey, if I got the fare for $4,000, I would go on my Instagram and sell it back for $5,000, and basically act as a middleman for Skylux or an air consolidator. And I would sell discounted flights to Europe.
Okay. I've never heard of that before. That's cool. When you say distressed fares, is that they couldn't fill the seats on a plane, or somebody canceled and now is that what that means?
Yeah, it happens for a bunch of reasons. So sometimes, if your average plane flying internationally has 40 to 50 seats in first class, they may know that, hey, we only sell 10 to 12 of these. So they may hold off 5 or 6 seats and put them to the consolidators and see who basically could sell them for a little bit of a discount. They also get some business intelligence when they do that, where they can say hey, we have these priced at $8,000, but when we price them at $6,000, we're selling them twice as fast, because an unsold seat is zero, right? And so you don't make any money on the seat that you don't sell. But they also have to balance price integrity, so they can't just keep discounting everything into oblivion. Yeah. So these consolidators are a good kind of secret, unknown middle ground that allows people to access cheap fares for business class internationally. Cool.
That's a really... Maybe I should do that too. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, you have enough jobs. You have enough jobs.
Just kidding. I thought of another one while you were talking.
Go for it.
Becoming a part-time meeting planner or travel advisor. Because
this is a great one.
So many of these people that do this are part-time. I'd say there's probably a lot more part-time meeting planners than full-time. Am I right? And there's so many meeting planners globally. It's crazy. And it seems like there's not really a shortage of work and trips that need to be booked. So I would recommend, meeting planners do anything from site selection to booking hotel rooms to booking airfare. And I'm sure at a certain point they can, I've never met a meeting planner that does just like one chunk. Have you? Are there people that say like, I'll just do hotels or I'll just do site selection?
Yeah, most meeting planners will offer the full service or the full gambit. So a meeting planner will help you do site selection. So, hey, I have 100 people and I want to do a team offsite. Where should I go? Should I go to Miami? Should I go to Austin? So a meeting planner will help companies make a decision on where to host their event. And then once the event happens, an event is not just you showing up to a hotel and twiddling your thumbs. They do things like putting on presentations, brand activations, parties, basically everything A to Z that comes along with running a great corporate event, they handle the logistics for. So often meeting planners are just that. They basically plan these events and they work with a lot of outside vendors. So there's a lot of really great groups that will help onboard you into this career. If you are laid off and you're looking for a new gig, I would highly consider becoming a meeting planner because most of them are set up where you get to be your own boss. So you join some type of association. Yeah. That association gives you a bunch of support and resources and training, and then you're off into the world. And what happens is often if you're someone who worked in tech and you have a lot of connections to other startups, you can reach out to them and say, hey, would you let me plan your meeting? Yeah. And if you have good relationships, that's an easy segue. It's fun. It's in travel. And there's a lot of resources for you to basically like learn on the job and learn as you go, which is a pretty cool way to like get into your next thing. It's very low pressure and there's a lot of support.
Yeah, this would actually probably be the best thing we've said so far for the person who wrote in, just because you really can work from anywhere. And it's all about making connections with the hotels. You want to have a good relationship with them. That's a really good idea, being a part-time meeting planner.
You also said another word, travel planner and meeting planner. So those two are not the same. So when you say meeting planner, that's really for like corporate events and big associations. So there's economies of scale there, right? So they're planning trips for tens or hundreds or thousands of people. Yeah. Whereas a travel planner, travel advisor traditionally plans travel.
Don't do air quotes.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't you air quote over here.
A travel advisor typically will do travel for like, a family or a person or a couple. I personally think that it's not how I would want to spend my time, because if you don't do luxury travel, the margins are so low and the touch point with the customer is so high that I think that it's a waste of your time. I think that you would make more money driving Uber at $16 an hour than you would being a travel advisor, unless you went super luxury and you had high-end clientele who would like pay you like a fee. But often travel has become so commoditized that you can do most of it online and you could get 90% of the way there yourself. So what value does a travel advisor really offer? I struggle to really think that that's a good side gig. So meeting planner, yes. Travel advisor, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Meeting planner is like the fairy godmother of a corporate event. And it's honestly, I would say do Uber over travel advisor, just because you don't have to hunt constantly for your next client. Like that's a tough job to have if you're trying to enjoy your trip and explore. Like this person's clearly wanting to not just like travel somewhere and sit behind a desk and sit there all day, which is another tough thing. It's also another tough thing with the teaching and things like that. It's like, well, how much do you want to work? $1,000 a month? We can make that happen 3 days a week, probably. The rest of the time, especially if you're going to Europe or something, you can like seriously see some stuff. Hop on a train and just every weekend. Driving Uber is a good idea. That just came to you? $16 an hour? Is that what it is now?
I did just Google it. It said, on average $16 an hour. I think in their last earnings call, they were saying that there were people making as much as $25 an hour. So it's really not that bad of a gig. Honestly, the way that I think that people should think of Uber is like the world's safety net for unemployment, right? So if you get unemployed, and you have a car, if you're lucky enough to have a car, you could basically apply to be an Uber driver, and you at least will not go totally broke and be homeless, especially if you're coming from tech and you have a big salary. You probably have tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars stored away. So you have a little bit of runway. So what this person is probably looking to do is just something fun to cover some cost and have something to do the next challenge. And I know it's not glorious, but driving for Uber is really not so bad.
Yeah, no. I mean, the guys who have their own AirPods in and just like listen to a podcast, that would be me. Actually, no, I would just be blaring my own music in the car, get really bad reviews.
You have like a 3-star review. It's like Connor comes to pick you up and there's some crazy weird music you've never heard of. And you're like, what is going on here? My
Uber stars have dropped.
As a passenger, I
don't know what's been going on. I don't know. I checked it the other day and I was like, I'm at 4.81.
Oh my God.
It's not terrible, but I was like 4.9 for a pretty solid amount of time. And then I think, I don't know what happened, but.
You've gotten some 4 stars. Some people have been a little hard on you.
I think I talk too much. I think they're like,
interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm too chatty sometimes and they hate it. Or the opposite.
What do you ask the Uber drivers? Do you have like a go-to question for the Uber driver?
Oh, totally. I'm like, so do you do this every day?
That's not a great question.
No, it's not great. I'm just so awkward. I'm like, so how many hours do you think you've driven like total in your life? No, I'm just kidding.
Do you know one of my favorite things to do on vacation when I'm in other countries is ask taxi drivers or Uber drivers what they think of American politics. During the Trump years, this was like the most fun thing to do because even in other countries, they knew about American politics, which makes you feel bad because you're like, I don't know about your country, but you know about our House and our Senate. Like most Americans don't even know that we have a House and Senate. And you know this as a taxi driver in Singapore. So I loved hearing all of the different perspectives on American politics. And a lot of people, the common thread that I will say is that most people that I talk to overseas view American politics as a drama or a circus. So that's how it's been described to me most commonly is they're like, yeah, American politics is crazy. It's just like a circus. It's drama. So it's an interesting conversation starter because if they're passionate about it, they'll go and they'll just run with it. And then you can just kind of sit back and smile and laugh. And if they don't know, then they'll be like, sorry, I don't follow. And then you both can sit there in silence and just hang.
Hang in silence. Yeah, that's true. It's like Real Housewives, but Real House members of America. I'd watch that with like subtitles. they're like explaining the political jargon to us plebeians, but it's like Bravo style. I would watch the shit out of that.
Hey, I know that this is One Question Friday, but I have a question for you.
Oh.
If you had to pack one snack on your next plane, which snack would that be?
One snack. I always go goldfish on planes.
Oh my God, you're 7 years old.
I love a goldfish moment. And this is stupid that I know this, but a serving size is 55. So I can eat 55 goldfish. And that's a
actually
normal
really great.
Size. So the pro tip is for binge eating, which you do on planes, I can eat 55 of them. But that actually means I can eat 110 because I can always have 2 servings of anything.
How many calories is one serving of gold? How many calories is one serving?
It's
really
not
like 100?
Why do I care? Goldfish serving nutrition facts. Oh, yeah. Googling. See, That's not bad. For 55 pieces, it's 140 calories,
Oh my God.
barely any
This is a
salt,
steal.
and less than 20 carbs. 20
Wow.
carbs, that's nothing. So you can have just like a whole freaking box of goldfish and your body's like,
Make
whatever.
Make it rain goldfish.
Just make it rain. Dude, I love goldfish. And all the flavors too. The pizza flavor, stop it. Pretzels, please. White cheddar, yes.
Speaking of fish, are you a fan of Swedish fish?
Swedish fish? Yeah, I'm a
Swedish
fan.
fish.
I'm a fan.
I have some Swedish fish jelly beans downstairs.
Oh.
Delicious.
Weird.
Delicious.
Where'd you
Weird
get
and
them from?
delicious. Well, it's like coming up on Easter, so our supermarket is just like raining candy from every aisle and direction. And I saw these and I couldn't pass them up. My one thing that I am going to start packing on planes, and we're not sponsored, but if you do want to sponsor us, I do think that this is the best travel snack and I have it, Super Gut. Super Gut.
Super gut.
Okay. What is Super Gut? Super Gut is I don't even know how to describe it. It's a bar. It has,
You have to describe it.
Okay. I am now going to describe Super Gut. Okay. So inside of this little delightful package, it's 140 calories. It does have 10 grams of protein. It doesn't taste sweet, but the one really cool thing about it is it's made with 10 grams of prebiotic fiber and 10, so you may be farting on the plane, which isn't great.
Yeah, this is not a good plane snack.
Anything with lots of fiber is not great for a plane.
Fig Newtons, prunes, forget it.
Oh, Fig Newton's delicious too.
Chili cheese dog, no.
The one, oh my God, who's bringing a chill? You know what? In Orlando Airport, there is a Nathan's. And I'm like, and the Nathan's line is always super long. It's always like 50 people deep. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, who are these jerks that are just rocking a chili cheese dog? They're going to bring that thing on a plane and they're going to be obliterating, row 32 and beyond. I mean, they're done. That's rude.
It's powerful. Every single row behind you is fucked.
Every single row is done.
Oh my gosh. I know. I think the same thing. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Or you see that one guy at TGI Fridays just like housing nachos and you're like, please don't be on my plane. Please.
And then he sits next to you. Next to you.
No.
And you know it's coming. I mean, Super Gut, I will say, I've had it on planes. I survive it. But the one cool thing about Super Gut is you have one Super Gut and you are not hungry for hours afterwards. And it's only 140
which is crucial.
Calories.
I'm always hungry post goldfish. By the way, Super Gut and Goldfish, if you want to sponsor the pod, we're already doing ad reads. So
the ad reads are coming. This was honestly the worst product placement ever. I'm like, this is the best. I have the package. I can't even read off the package. I'm about to house this thing. And so will we get better with the ad reads in the future? We will.
It's house.
House this thing.
House this girl apart.
Did I say, house, like with Z's?
You asked me what it meant last time I said it. And then you randomly bring it up in conversation and say it weird. I love that.
Damn.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
pretty dumb. That's not great.
Oh my gosh, you guys, if you can think of any other thing, actually pause. I think I just thought of something. Another thing you could do as fun. Now my brain is going, what should you not eat on planes? But I need to be thinking, okay, a job
Brussels
that allows
sprouts.
you to travel. Brussels sprouts. Terrible.
Do not eat Brussels sprouts.
Oh my God.
My wife has been feeding me Brussels sprouts religiously and she's been paying for it.
That's on her, dude. When I cook them in my house, like I walk into my house the next morning and I'm just like, like it doesn't only make things with you are not good, but like things in your home, it's hard to get that smell out.
Do you know that we actually cooked Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving this past year? And we know that they're so bad. And Thanksgiving is a good smelling holiday, you know, it just is nice. But the Brussels sprouts had the potential to screw it all up. So
Totally.
we actually, the Brussels sprouts gods don't come at me for this, but we actually cooked the Brussels sprouts outside in an air fryer. So we unplugged the air. They're so bad smelling. We cooked them outside.
They're just on the ground in the backyard. Like, it's so funny.
Just getting cooked.
Oh my God. I think I'm going to make some after this. I have some in my fridge. Okay, wait.
God,
I thought of my last suggestion for tech guy. So $1,000 a week. You want to do something in travel?
A month.
We're
starting small.
sorry.
He's rich. Remember, he was making $450,000 a year.
Yeah. I would say doing travel vlog stuff. And I say that just because that's kind of what I'm doing now in tandem to the podcast and stuff. And I will say you can make some really cool connections and relationships with, I'm sure we've all heard the word collaboration. I have gotten to eat at really beautiful, nice restaurants just because they need footage. You know, they need like people coming in and doing reviews and taking videos of not only their awesome food or their new dishes, but also of, not a lot of people get videos of themselves walking into the restaurant or what the lobby looks like or what the bar looks like. It's usually just like an Instagram post. So sometimes they will work with you on that kind of stuff and build up a following on your vlog, especially if it's on YouTube. You can monetize that and charge for your services. Honestly, drive traffic to the restaurant or you can do a hotel review or things like that.
Yeah, a really cool iteration of this is if you do a Instagram handle that reviews date night spots in your city.
Yeah.
I've seen this in Orlando done pretty well. And so this person just basically goes every week and reviews a really awesome date spot. There's usually endless things to do in your city, especially if you live somewhere cool. Totally. And you could just document your journey. And over time, if you build up enough of a following, your content will drive traffic and then you can charge for that service. And maybe you make a few bucks, you meet some cool people and eat some awesome food. So that's a pretty good one.
It's a good idea to make it niche too. Yours could be like, I know there's too many Instagrammable restaurants out there, but if you're a tech bro like me, you'll like this place. What do you think? Tech restaurants. How do you combine the two? That's for you to figure out. And once you create your own niche, you're in business.
Yeah, we can't do all the work. We just do 10% of the work and take like 90% of the credit. That's our MO here on Travel Nerds.
I love that. But yeah, I think those are pretty, we gave like 4. I think those are pretty good. Teach English, maybe some Uber situation. If you're feeling it, you can do the part-time meeting planner, selling cheap flights, vlogging. Yeah, that's a really good place to start. I guess really just those are all very different personality things. So just figure out, what your travel style is going to be and then kind of pick it based on that, by how available you feel like you want to be.
Are we going to keep all of the fiber farting content in? Because that was horrible.
I think I can't edit it out. I think it has nothing to do with this episode and we should leave it in.
Oh my God. Oh.
Don't be ashamed. Brussels sprouts does that to everybody. Oh my gosh.
The title of this episode will be Don't Eat Brussels Sprouts or Chili Dogs on a Plane. Yeah,
the title is Travel Side Hustles and Farting on Planes.
All right, quickly.
Have you ever seen the video that's online of it's like thermal imagery of people farting in the airport?
No, I've never seen this, but put this in the company Slack for sure.
Okay, it's really funny. And whoever's listening to this, look it up. Just type in thermal cameras in the airport. It's pretty funny.
Connor, say you're on a plane and someone is going to sit down next to you and they have a plate full of X food. What is that food that would cause you to try to move seats?
Oysters.
Oysters, really? You're just slurping oysters on a plane?
On a plane? That would be super fun.
For me, it would have to be Brussels sprouts. Because if you sit down with a tub of Brussels sprouts, I'm going to be in for it.
A tub. Like they were
You
selling
just rolled
it
up.
at the county fair and Brussels sprouts in a tub.
You just come in and you're just stocked up with Brussels sprouts. I'm ringing the bell and I'm like,
I'm out.
Sir, I'm out of here. But yours is oysters. So you think oysters smell bad?
No, I just was thinking of the food that I hate the most. You know, like something that would cause like a visceral reaction from me would be oysters.
So oysters, they've hurt you.
Seafood on a plane. This is a
It's
general
not right. It's
rule
not
of thumb.
right. Yeah.
You should be arrested. That should be
Arrested
illegal.
in cuffs. Like, you know what they did to that guy on the United flight where they dragged him off? That's what should happen to you if you bring fish on a plane, we drag you off. If you put your backpack above in the little cubby when other people have to put their suitcases. Arrest in cuffs. I do not like this.
Arrested.
Yeah. The backpack goes underneath the seat, good sir.
Yeah, actually, that is really stupid. And then they get up like 7 times throughout the flight to get something out of said backpack. It's like, God, you're the worst.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's like, dude, just put the backpack on the floor. Like, everyone has to put their suitcases up.
There's a hole down there. That's what it's for, brother.
Yeah. Brother, look at the hole.
Oh my God, brother, there's a hole for that.
Get your back. Now, if you want to put your backpack up after everyone has put their bags up, go for it. But to just throw your bag up there and then block it from people who have full-size suitcases, I don't know. I think it's rude.
It's rude. Get your backpacks and your Brussels sprouts out of here.
Yeah. Fish, oysters, Brussels sprouts, backpacks. Put them in the right place. That's what we have to say here at Travel Nerds.
And mic drop. We're out.
Mic drop.
All right. Well, I guess that's the pod. Later, nerds.